Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Precision Lock. This is their part number PLS24PROXSSP1. It's a really long part number for it's not probably new, it's certainly not new technology, the use of magnets in door hardware, but these are relatively new in our market. In terms of them being an alternate when it comes to roller latches. So the Precision Lock PLS24 Pro, that is basically two of these. Okay, you put one up into the header, you put one into the top of the door, or into the jamb, and then the side of the door. But when you add the SSP1, you get this type of rectangular strike plate. And where you would use this is when you had a preparation somewhere that would be 1 1/8 wide and 2 inch tall. So it's an unusual size for a faceplate. But if you wanted to have something mortised or a faceplate that was basically just going to be a piece of silver, which is probably stainless would be my guess. I'm about to put a magnet on a magnet. Yeah, I don't know what that material the faceplate is made of, but it's clearly not magnetic at all, which tells me that it's very likely stainless steel. Even though Type 304 will have a small amount of magnetism to it, probably not enough to really impact because it's so thin. So when you have the SSP1, that refers to this strike situation. You might want something rectangular mounted, you know, up in the header. This company is from, I believe, New Zealand, so I'm not surprised to see that we have something that's 1 1/8 by 2 inch. Well, I wouldn't have made it 2 inch. I would have made it 2 1/4, which is a standard edge prep, or maybe 1 inch by 2 1/4, which is a standard latch bolt prep that I could have prepped in the edge of my door, even though the thickness is not right. Right, I would have made it 2 1/4 and then the width of a full lip strike. Anyway, the point being is these are used, well, you know what, let's finish the visual tour of the material, then we'll talk about it. Silver is the only finish on this, at least at this time. I've asked my representative to talk to the factory and say we need to have these in black. Black is the new fancy finish nowadays. The year's 2022. Black's been popular for probably 5 years. Historically, over the century and a half or more, certainly more, of door hardware, black is, you know, you look at a catalog from 1905, yeah, black is the common color. You know, if you watch Marx Brothers movies from the 20s and 30s, I like to just because, but I also, being in door hardware, I will look at the, you know, the area in which they are, you know, acting through this movie, and I'll notice all of the extremely elegant door hardware. It's all black, okay? So black is nothing new. What's old is new again. So you're going to get a screw that's going to allow you, that's a peel away film that's on there, that you'll be able to attach that down to where it has to go. And the reason I'm a bit gingerly with these is because this is a small one. Let me tell you, these things come together. And again, this is a small one. The big ones really snap at you. So you'll get the screw for that. For the strike, and I believe this is for a steel frame, and actually I know that it is because the way that you attach this is with these two pop rivets. Okay, so you'll need a pop rivet gun to get that installed. You put your pop rivet gun over that and you just crank the handle and it folds that piece over whatever you're attaching this to. So that's how that will work. So 2 pop rivets, and then you're going to get 3 shims. And these 3 shims, I can tell, are different thicknesses. I will tell you those thicknesses just for the sake of telling you those thicknesses. The thin one is apparently 55 thousandths. The second one is 77 thousandths. The thick one is 1.17 inch thick. No, 0.117 inch thick. 0.117, almost 1/8 of an inch. So about 80 thousandths, about 120 thousandths, and about 50 thousandths, about. That's the visual tour of everything that is here. So I'm going to talk now, where are you going to use this? Why are people all of a sudden ordering these to the point where 6 months ago I never heard of them, and now we have hundreds in stock? So let's talk about that. Now, why are people ordering these? Well, first of all, they want a concealed option. And roller latches are the hardware that is giving up yardage, so to speak, to these magnetic catches. Eating the lunch, I would suppose, of roller latches these magnetic catches are doing. Why not use a good, trusty roller latch? Well, commercial ones are very reliable, very predictable, easy to install, readily available in architectural finishes. All your brasses, your bronze, your nickels, your chromes, your polished, your satin, your oil rubbed, your powder coated finishes. They do fail, I suppose, but I never really hear of that. But two things. There's projecting hardware when the door's closed. You're going to see a strike lip. Or you're going to see evidence of an angle stop. Also, they give off acoustical energy. They make noise. I had a client one time. We did a job for a client, and it did not turn out well. We did a 4.0 or a 5.0 bifold. This bifold was 1 3/4 solid cherry doors that we cut holes into and installed bar grating into as if they were full glass. Maybe with some stainless woven wire. It's just the look they were going for. We did bathroom doors with dummies and roller latches, center hung pivots, double acting. That's what they wanted. These doors were incredibly expensive. Stainless iron bar grating, in the bifold doors. That bifold alone was $6,000. And we're finishing up the job, and the client's like, this isn't going to work. I'm like, what do you mean? It's exactly what you asked for. I'm not paying for it. And it was because the roller latch, he could hear the roller latch. And I said, that's exactly what you wanted. It's obvious that the hardware will give off a sound. If you listen to an automatic door bottom, it makes a noise. If you listen to a door closer, it makes noise. If you listen to the latch hit the lip of the strike, that makes noise. So we didn't get paid. We yanked off the job what we didn't install, which was all garbage at that point. The point of the matter is, roller latches make noise. Now, would anyone be so obtusely irrational about it? One time, yes, for sure. So if there's evidence of one, there's probably others. So if for some reason you are that person, don't get a roller latch, because you're going to end up not being happy. And there will be somebody that is trying to supply you the material that's even less happy. And consider these magnetic style catches, because they, there will be sound, because that door is going to come closed, right? You're going to need a rubber mute, because the way that these are installed, the fact that there's no margin here, I can't hold it, 1/8 of an inch away, but these are going to come into, the door's going to come in, the magnetic field's going to take over and bring it to the closed position. It's not going to slam, but it's going to come closed. And this company does sell mutes for the face of the stops for that exact reason. Let's switch to the screen view, and we shall talk about, we will look at all the extended description information here. So let's do that now. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. Okay, here's the item that we're looking at. Let's just take a look at some photographs that we have. There's the packaging, at least the way it is now. The components laid out in front of you, the 3 shims. This screw will go inside of here to secure it. These pop rivets are used here and here. Those pieces are separated because any closer and they'll snap together. Showing you the silver finish. The underside of it. And this factory does not give a lot of information at all about what size to mortise stuff, but they do give you the steps. albeit a little unconventional, but it does work. There's the circular component, the underside of it, your accessories. 1, 2, and, well, I can tell you, I've got it here. 5, maybe? 3, sorry, 1, 2, and 3 millimeter spacers. Okay. Now, extended description information. Concealed magnetic catch with the SSP1 plate. This is the SSP1 plate. This is just shown upside down. Silver. Can be used anywhere a roller or ball latch would normally be fitted. Now, ball latches, those do fall apart. They don't work forever. A $3 ball latch, bullet catch, or ball latch or ball catch is not going to last nearly as long as a robust piece of commercial equipment such as something like this. This is not the 593 is not a great example because that's for center hung doors, but this is the industry standard roller latch. This is going to last. Okay, but you are going to see the lip of that strike when it's mortised, when the door is closed. Magnets don't touch. They will never wear out, and they're guaranteed for that. They can even be painted over. That's slick. No latch noise when opening and closing. True, because there's no latch. Completely concealed when door is closed. No unsightly protruding strike lip, unlike a roller or ball catch. Can be used to help keep problem doors shut. Weak closers, electric strikes, weak roller mortise locks. I would add to that doors that are meant to keep the dog from going into a different part of the house. People often ask us for hardware solutions to situations that they have with pets or with people. There are there are caregivers who take care of people that have mental illness, etc., but they still live at home, but they tend to slam the doors for what you and I would say no obvious reason. So we do get calls from people looking to just help the situation. What I did suggest to that client was a friction style overhead concealed stop, which friction door holders is actually what they are. You see those in bathrooms and patient rooms and hospitals. That means you can take that door and put it in any degree and it won't move until you move it again because there's a friction slide block in the track. Quick to easy and install, no chiseling. That's true on these circular, well, that's not true on this. Well, there is some chiseling required, but it's light carpentry, very, very light. Steel housing cup automatically sets the magnets perfectly parallel to each other. Power adjustment packers, those are the shims. Increase magnetic holding force by inserting these shims inside housing but under the magnet, just like they show here. This little thimble does come off of that magnet. Self-adhesive cover plate. Yeah, that's that is true. I did not separate that, and I'm going to show you that. Forgive me. I will show you that when we switch back. I did mention it quickly. This comes off. There's a very thin piece of metal here, maybe 20 thousandths or 15 thousandths, that has this peel away protective film, the adhesive, and it will cover the head of that screw. Pour-on XRD foam impact absorption pad, that's not included. That is not included in this. That needs to be indicated as such. And I could show you a link to those pads. It's the PF10PK is what this is. I would think you're going to need these. If you're doing a job of more than one, you're probably going to want to order some of these automatically, would be my guess. All right. warranty. I won't waste your time looking at that. I'm sure that this states the magnet has a lifetime warranty. Documentation can be used anywhere. Roller latch would be normally used, and I won't go through all of these because we just did, basically. Now, what they're showing here, and I can enlarge that a little bit, is with a 5mm gap, you've got 0.95 kilogram of holding power. So, just over 2 pounds of holding force. I'm guessing. 3mm gap, that's going to go to about 3 pounds of holding force. And then a 1mm gap, you're going to have, 5.5 pounds of holding force with just this small magnet. So that's pretty nice. And that's all how you stack the spacers, if any, that you install here. And here's where it's shown. So this is the important part. Let's imagine that you're going to install the magnet, the circular component, in the center of the thickness of the door. And let's say that you're going to put the SSP1 strike up into the steel frame header, because there's really no other way to hold this hardware in a steel frame without it being rectangular, without you having some mounting tabs to attach to, and then, of course, the rivets. Now, probably what they're thinking about doing here, and I don't know that there's anywhere that shows an SSP1 installed, which is this rectangular strike. I'm thinking that what people will very likely do is just simply this. You've got a frame. Okay. This is the, well, it's the stop, but it's the soffit of the stop. These are your two rabbets. Okay, and your door is going to fit into one of these. Let's say that we're looking up at the header. Probably what you might consider doing is drilling a round hole. That you can do. Just the size of the circular component of the SSP1 strike, and then you're going to surface mount the rectangular plate because it's so thin, and then pop rivet. You'll mark and drill 2 holes in the steel header, and you'll pop rivet that together. That's looking up to the header itself, as if here's a extremely poorly drawn frame, my goodness, as if we were looking up this way. So what they're saying here is top magnet must be offset towards door stop, so door pulls against the stop between 3 and 10 millimeter of an inch. Well, sorry, between 3 and 10 millimeter. They don't offer these rubber bumpers anymore. I think they might come with certain ones. They don't with this, but these are those pads that we're talking about, those self-adhesive pads. Increase magnetic holding strength by inserting power adjustment packers, those spacers that are included. Drill a 23 to 24 millimeter holes approximately 10 millimeter deep into door and jamb to accept the stainless steel housing cups. They do make a Forstner bit. FB-23. I would too use a Forstner bit because that leaves you a flat bottomed hole. They are from New Zealand, as is another company that I like very much. Showing the pour-on pad installed, showing a couple of just standard non-SSP1 units installed. Obviously showing it with the all the spacers installed because it's popped out. It's completely projected as far as it's to go. Showing it installed in a single door where you've installed it where a latch bolt is. You know, single dummy or full dummy trim, great idea. Skip the roller latch. Go for it. Up in the header and a pair of doors, obviously. And the rest of this, you know, you can just study. There's not much else here to say. we've covered it. Now, there is a link, well, let's look at the warranty. Yeah, okay, no big deal. You can read that. Life of the product, that's the warranty. Now, there is a link below this video to the manufacturer's page as seen here, where you can click on, and by the way, any of these precision lock, magnetic locks you look at, in this area here is where we will show our inventory. So if you're wondering about what we have in stock, that's where we show it. All of the different models can be found here via this horizontal navigation. A link to the manufacturer's website is here. Being a New Zealand company, you will see odd hardware. These profile cylinders to me they're not odd, they're just not common in North America, at least in the United States. Okay, and there you go. Let's wrap up this video on camera. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. So if it was me, 3 to 10 millimeter, I'd probably be putting it at 3 millimeter is what I would end up doing. And then I would control the force by just how I brought that magnet up or down is probably what I would end up doing. Assuming you've got an 1/8 of an inch margin there. Now, you can see that I pulled that little cap off. Okay. Now, what you would obviously do, it would look like that. Peel away protective film, then on the other side is the peel away protective tape that will cover that once your fastener goes through and holds that in. Okay. So you're going to look just like that when it's all said and done. Nice, neat, clean look. I actually found out about these from a customer of mine who said, hey, I had someone in Evanston, Illinois, contact me and say, hey, I got a problem with a roller latch. Can you help? I says, well, I can't. I'm in Southwest Florida, but I know someone who can. So I referred the client to the owner to a client of mine who I know is extremely exceptional in his skill set. He can handle installing a roller latch. He called me up and said, yeah, I went over and saw that client. You referred to me. Yeah, we can do that job. That's easy. Have you heard of these precision lock magnets? And I said, no. He's like, go here and look. Okay, and that just opened the floodgates to us stocking, like I had said, lots of them now. Magnets aren't a new concept at all. You know, they're used to hold doors, you know, in the open position is every time that I've really ever seen them. But to hold them in replacing a roller latch, to me, is a novel idea. I can't think of any applications in the history of door hardware that has employed magnets in this way, but super elegant. The drive to seeing no hardware on an opening is forever what people are looking for. And I agree. You know, if you're going to have doors, either standard or all the way up to thoroughly custom, why let the hardware detract from the overall look? So you're going to see hardware like this coupled with other concealed hardware like sauce, concealed hinges, great idea. Edge poles that, while you can see a little bit of the hardware, just a little bit, or touch latches, which wouldn't work with this at all. But the concept is concealed, not looking at the hardware at all, ever. You know, you might be doing complete running and matched veneers on walls and doors. Yeah, they don't want to see any hardware. That's the bottom line. But we do need 3 pair of doors, and you know, how are we going to do that? You know, and you come up with ways to minimize the amount of hardware that they would see. So if you have any questions on the precision lock, this is their part number PLS24PROXSSP1 concealed magnetic catch with adjustable strength SSP1 plate in a silver finish, hopefully someday black, or any other, because they could powder coat this, or any other precision lock product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you very much. Thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.